What's up? What's up? It's your boy CoreyB. So I want to tell you to dive in. That's what I want to. That's the key aspect of what I'm talking about today. Is just diving in. Whatever it is you want to do. I mean, okay, we are in a critical, pivotal turning point in our society, in the economic structure, in the way that the world is going right now. Like, there's so much happening. There's so much going on. We've come out of this pandemic that forced all kinds of people to be hindered. People were limited in their jobs. People were sent home from work. People sitting at home took to social media. People took to social media and quickly vented their frustrations, vented their opinions, their thoughts, their everything. They used this as an opportunity to trying to find validation in themselves, in a concept, in an idea, in something they believed in. People were looking for something. They were. I truly believe that a lot of people, they wanted people to tell them they knew something. They wanted people to tell them they were right. People wanted to. I believe it falls back on a lot of insecurity. I believe that psychologically, that a lot of people in this time where there was so much uncertainty, there was uncertainty about the economy, there was uncertainty about people's jobs, there was uncertainty about people's health, as a lot of people struggled with COVID. A lot of people struggled with believing that it was real. A lot of people believed it was real and they were fearful. A lot of people were so confused. I found myself in a category of, I understood the science. I understood the medical background. My wife is very intelligent and she's a very skilled nurse. I also had the benefit of having several friends with a scientific background. And I also spent much of my time in college in research, so I understood how to, understand research, but I also knew, because of my background, that everything was extremely rushed, and that was a problem. But I understood that they were rushing things with a purpose, but that rush made things uncertain, right? Okay, so that rush made things uncertain because how can you trust something that you haven't had time for? Okay, so the health scare in the world was all over the place. The economic scare was all over the place. Then as people sat at home, of course, then the enemy preys on our weakness. The enemy is in overtime. Okay, so the enemy and simply okay, this is gonna sound a little off as a Christian, but simply turning to God is too small. And like I said, as a Christian, that sounds off, right? Because the idea is when people turn to God in these crisis situations, what they do is they turn to God. They're like, well, I was on this path and this path is rocky. God, you got me, right? Help me out. Like, that way looks scary and dangerous, so I'm gonna have a seat and I'm gonna wait for you to fix it. No. That's not turning to God. See, yes, you turn to God in prayer and you trust in God and you put faith in God, but you ultimately have to take actions and steps for yourself. Okay. I believe that the phrase that Ben Franklin said, God helps those who help themselves, is a real thing, because God didn't intend for you to sit. God will open doors, but you have to walk through them. Okay. So this is a real concept. Okay. So lots of people chose to turn to God and say, God, you're gonna get me out of this, right? Some people turn to the government. Okay, president's working on something, right? I mean, he'll fix all this, right? And some people turn to the doctors and they're like, okay, well, they're gonna get us a vaccine, so we're gonna be healthy, right? And all right, well, that's gonna take care of the health, I guess, prevent us from getting sick again. Some other people turn to their employees. Well, boss, you understand what's going on in the world, and I'm hungry. I've got kids. I've got bills. I've got a roof. I've got to, do all this stuff. You got me covered, right? I mean, you're not just. I mean, you're a big corporation, right? I mean, you got deep enough pockets, right? You're gonna totally keep forking out dough and paying me even though I gotta go home, right? Because you told me I can't be here. It's not my fault I can't be here. You told me not to be here. Okay, see, there was all this uncertainty. And with all that uncertainty, people sat at home with their insecurities. Most people didn't want to admit they're insecure. Most people don't even realize it. Most people are not self-aware enough to understand their own insecurity. And so most people sat back and said, we're like, well, what am I going to do? Starts out as, excuse me, starts out as a little stress relief, right? You're a little stressed out. So pull your phone out of your pocket, open it up. I'm just going to scroll through Instagram just a little bit, just to kill a few minutes. Next thing you know, it's been an hour. And you're like, oh man, I can't believe I was on Instagram for an hour. Next thing you know, you're on Facebook. So you're on Facebook, and next thing you know, it's been another hour. The problem is as they did this, like I said, the enemy's poking you, right? The enemy's preying on that weakness. The enemy's like, okay, how can I get this person to feel weak, feel insecure, feel vulnerable, feel scared, fearful, feel pain, okay? Okay, so while all that's happening, everybody's on social media. They got nothing to do because they're on lockdown. They can't go to the store. They can't go to the park. I mean, literally, there was at a moment where people couldn't go to the park. People were saying, do not leave your house unless absolutely necessary. You know, and I get it. I'm not throwing, this is not me throwing shade. So whether you agree or disagree, this is not the forum for it. This forum is for something else. So I'm not telling you that people being fearful was wrong. I'm not telling you that the lockdown was wrong. Or I'm not telling you it's right either. I'm just telling you that I am being optimistic, especially for this platform right here and for the purpose of what we're speaking about today, that I want to be optimistic and believe that it was all well-intentioned. Okay? People were like, well, I don't know. It seems pretty scary, so y'all stay home. Okay, so y'all stayed home. Y'all stayed home. You're hanging out at the house. You're like, I got nothing else to do. The kids are finally asleep, or the kids are playing over there because they can't go play with their friends. They can't go outside. You can't do nothing. So you're sitting here and you're on social media again. And there you find yourself and you're looking and somebody's like, did you know that, I was reading these articles, and as I was reading these articles, there's this statue and it's so offensive. That statue has been there for 160 years. Been there for 160 years. We got nothing else to do at this point, but what? Complain. And maybe the statue needed to be removed, maybe it didn't. I don't care. Again, not the point here. My point here is that we were doing a whole lot of nothing. Then some people, and high five to those people, because there was a bunch of people who started getting out there. I was one of them who was like, this is an opportunity. This is a time. God can use all, yep, dare I say, all. That's biblical. That's scripture, baby. It says all things God can use for his good. How are we going to use the pandemic for good? How are we going to use COVID for good? What could possibly be good about any of this? Okay. Some people need a break. Some people can't afford the luxury of a break. Some people need a reboot, a regroup. Some people need a moment to get away, be with their family, be with their kids, be with their spouse, uninterrupted, untethered to their job, untethered to their phone, untethered to their devices, untethered to what's going on with their neighbor across the street, untethered to the community. And please bear with me and hear me the whole thing out, because I'm 100% firm believer that community is an absolute good thing. But sometimes you need to get untethered from that community, because we frequently get so into our church, our outreach program, our neighbor across the street, our homeboys, our buddy from college that we just found out that he moved back to town, and so we gotta hang out with him. It would be rude not to. It's not rude. It's not rude to need time for your husband. It's not rude to need time for your wife. It's not time for your little ones to need your undivided attention. Sometimes we need that break. Okay, so and I was not the only one, but I was among many who tried to encourage, like, hey, look, you haven't lost your community. You haven't lost your church. You haven't even lost the businesses, the corporations. Some of you have lost your job, but a lot of you haven't. Some of these things are still there. They're just waiting on the other end of this crisis that we're in. Nobody knows how long that crisis is. It could be weeks, could be months. I remember there was politicians and presidents and different people of authority who were speaking that it was going to last weeks. Then they said months, and it turned into a lot longer. I do not blame them. I do not, but I'm just saying that I don't think they knew. None of us knew. And so we had things waiting for us at the other end. But in that meantime, we had an opportunity to just dive into each other, dive into ourselves, dive into, taking that me time that you don't often take. Now I'm going to go sit down and read a book. I'm going to sit down with my lovely, supportive wife, who we both work too hard. And we're going to have dinner together. Yeah, I mean, budget may be tight, but because we don't know when we're working again. But we could just sit down and enjoy, a meal together. Peanut butter sandwich, I don't care. Because the important thing is not the classiness of the food, but the time that we devote to one another, where we just sit and eat. No TV, no phones, no distractions. No, we got to get to bed on time because, we got to both get up in the morning. No, none of that. Just to take the time to say, it's just me and you. Okay, then, beyond that, when you've taken that time, as we said, this thing lasted much longer. When we've taken that time, then it gets to the point, what's next? We got to build something for our family. What's that idea that's been festering in my head for, I don't know, man. I think I was a teenager the first time I came up with this great idea. Kick that to the curb, because who dreams like that? That's silliness. I got to be responsible. Let's go to school. Let's get a job. Get a mortgage, and none of those are bad. I went to school. I love school. I love school. School was great. And nothing wrong with having a mortgage, nothing wrong with being responsible, nothing wrong with having a job. But you had this great idea once. You believed in something. So let's take this opportunity to believe in something again. Okay, well, what was your idea? What were you thinking? Well, you had this business idea that, if you could do anything, what would it be? Well, it's like the silly middle school, high school question that guidance counselors ask. Well, if you had $1 million, what would you do with your life? And the idea is to make you think, what would you do if money wasn't an issue? Because, back in the 80s and 90s, $1 million was a lot more than it is today. So it's like, if you had $1 million in your pocket, you could do anything. And if ultimately you said, I want to work on old cars, then you're going to be a mechanic. And if you said, well, I just really want to help people, well, maybe you're supposed to be a doctor or a nurse, caregiver of some kind, or social worker or something. Well, I just want to do, it's like, people have an innate passion for something. Everybody does. Everybody's got something that's deep inside them. So whatever it is you want to do, see, this whole video is like kind of me unloading a little bit, but there's so much that I just want to unpack here, because the concept and idea is that whatever it is you want to do, I want you to dive in. I've had many business ventures that I went through over the years, and many of them completely bombed, and some of them bombed because timing wasn't right, or the market wasn't right, or my concept wasn't right, or the partner I had wasn't right. But there's been a few things that I've had in the works over the last couple of years. I've got a great partner back in Austin. I've got a great partner in Anna, Texas, as well, north of Dallas. And my wife is an incredible partner, and my partner's wife is an incredible partner to us as well. I mean, we've got this bubble, this incredible dynamic. And we've all got jobs, we've all got lives. I'm building a business. I've been, business been growing. My wife has, her job, which has got us in this lovely Airbnb right now. Classy. It truly is. It's dope. This place is dope. It's really dope. It's one of the coolest places we've stayed. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with me. So with all that being said, homeboy's got his job. We've got 2 kids. We're on the road. Boys are homeschooling. We're traveling. From every couple of months. We don't know where we're going to be because my wife is just working travel nursing and it's contracts. And my homeboy in Austin, he's not going anywhere. He's stayed put. He's growing and building, but he's building a network also. He's building a network of, investors and stuff. So he's got a lot on his plate. And because we trade and invest in different markets, I mean, his schedule is always all over the place because he's got to be up and at the, computer when the London market opens and stuff like that. And my homeboy in Dallas, or in Anna, my partner and his wife, I mean, they're incredible. Absolutely incredible. But they, like I said, he's got his job and they've got 3 kids and she's got a lot going on. She's got a great YouTube channel also. Off the top of my head, I can't remember the name of her channel, but it is Gabby Stas, Gabystas. But she does like mommy stuff, and she's incredibly smart. Her and her husband do lots of research. She does more than he does, but he's research savvy. But she does a lot of research to make sure she's doing, best for her family and stuff like that. And she tries to put it out there for other people. Her and Kimberly, my wife, both relate on that level because they both try to do a lot of research and try to figure out what is this that we're putting in our household? What is this kind of chemical? What is this kind of food? What is this? They want to know those things. What good mommies do. Me and Garrett do the best we can. But we also, we trust our loving, brilliant wives. We do. But like I said, me and Garrett both have research backgrounds as well. But there's been multiple businesses over the years that, since he got his master's, after he got his master's a couple years ago, me and him have been trying to develop a couple of businesses, and there's been a couple of setbacks here and there. There's been a couple of setbacks with different aspects of, us launching businesses. We've had a couple that were just, I'm not going to dive into it too much without, talking to him. This is kind of just was on my heart. It was on my mind. And so I just turned the camera on and started rolling. I didn't have really a plan of what even I was going to say right now. So, like I said, I don't want to put too much out there without actually having a convo with him first. But ultimately, we've had a couple of businesses, and some of them, they're all kind of still in the works, but they've all kind of hit like this little bit of a hesitation for one reason or another. Either it's been getting enough financial backing to get it off the ground, or getting enough attention to really launch it, or having the time, or maybe it's been one of our businesses. We got the product lined up, we got the logistics lined up, and there was other little details that getting it packaged, getting it moved, and which we just haven't had the time to do that. And without extra revenue coming in, we really didn't want to outsource that. So it's just been kind of put on hold just a little bit, and but we're working on things. And me and him talk regularly, me and her talk regularly, me and Kimberly talk regularly, me and my boy in Austin, Z, we talk regularly. Like I said, we keep this dialogue flowing, and we keep this growth progressing, and we're all people of faith, so we trust that God has a timing. There's a reason that sometimes there's a reason that something gets in your way. Sometimes there's a reason that something slows it down. But what I want you to take away from all of this is to not stop. Being slowed down or hesitant, or not hesitant, but something putting hesitation to the progress is one thing. But to stop or not try is another. I want y'all to stay tuned. I'm going to continue to market and plug and let y'all know about the new business ventures that we're going into. Not just to plug my own products. Absolutely, I'm a shameless self-promoter, and I will plug myself and the people that I love and believe in endlessly. But in addition to that, I want y'all to see from where I'm telling you right now. I want you to be able to see that growth from right now where I'm telling you, hey, this is where I'm at. We're in like, we've got a couple of companies that we're working on launching, but they're in like infantile stages right now. And we're really struggling to make the logistics of everything line up. We're really trying to get it pushed forward, but you know, there's something here, there's something there, and you can see that stage. I want y'all to know that stage. I want you to see that stage because I want to share that, because I want you to understand that this is a normal process. I don't want you to believe that, oh, well, you look at these people like, you look at these people and it's like, oh, well, you know, these people are just in the media and they're just successful because, you know, it's just fluke. It's just whatever. No, I want to talk with you as we go this. I want there to be a process where you hear, you know, you understand, because I want you to understand there's no secret to what I'm doing. Like Warren Buffett talks about it. He's talked about it many times. He said you could be as rich and wealthy and successful as him in the stock market if you do one thing. You read and never stop learning. Read, never stop learning, because he's not doing anything special. He's not doing anything that you can't do. Now, that's what I want you to understand about what I'm doing, is that I'm not doing anything that you can't do. What I'm doing is just persistent. I'm persistent. I know my vision. I'm willing to fight for my vision, and I'm willing to dig deep and claw with everything I've got until I get it, because I want it so bad. I can taste it. I know it's coming. And I know that Kimberly's behind me. I know Garrett and Gabby and Z, they're behind me, and they see the vision. They see what we're going after. They see the, you know, and there's other people that are, you know, that I don't want anybody who possibly runs across us and be like, oh man, you didn't talk about me, you left me out. No. There's other people. There's, like I said, there's definitely a larger group in our investment group with my boy Z. And there's more people along the way that are going to help with this. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day, but people always forget that, of course, it wasn't built in a day, but it also wasn't built by one person. An empire is built by masses. So I'm not building this alone, but just Kimberly and Z and Garrett and Gabby, they're my tightest inner circle for the growth of what I see, the vision I have right now. Now there are more. We'll talk about those later. We'll introduce y'all. You know what I'm saying? We'll get things growing. You know, we'll get things popping. But I want y'all to see this process. I want y'all to see. You know, I had this idea years ago. It's like, oh well, as soon as I'm successful, I'm gonna tell everybody. No. That is stupid. I mean, it's not stupid. To me, for me to think that way, it was stupid. For somebody else, I mean, it's fine. To each his own. But I think, to me, I have this desire to put it all out there right now and walk y'all through my walk. Y'all want to take the walk with me? Let's grow. And there's so much opportunity and there's so much money out there for you to have. I don't believe that, oh, if I tell you what I'm doing, you're going to swing in, steal my idea, and then you're going to capitalize on my score. No. There's a reason that there's so many brands. There's so many different things. And what makes me uniquely me, what makes my companies and my business uniquely mine is me and how I operate and how I do things. You can't be me better than me, but I can't be you better than you. So I don't know what it is your goal is. I don't know what, I want y'all to marinate on that though. I want y'all to really think about it. I want y'all to give it some time, some thought, some energy. I want you to really just think about what your goal is, what you want to do, what you want to build. What's that idea that you put back there that you were like, it's just silly. Don't give up on that idea. Shine some light on that bad boy and let's do this now. Mr. Beast was talking about, like, this is my 9th video that I'm posting on this channel. And I've got a small amount of subscribers. and this, granted, this is my second channel, and granted, I have a good manager managing my channel, and hats off to my homeboy Marcel, doing a great job. Appreciate you so much, man. Absolutely. And if y'all are looking for a YouTube manager, you know, message me. I'll put you in touch. Guy's great. But with that being said, I'm growing this channel. You're seeing this channel grow. You're seeing it from the beginning. This, like I said, this is my 9th video. So as you're seeing my 9th video, I just saw an interview where Mr. Beast was talking about how there's these content creators and these YouTubers who are like, oh, well, I'm posting these videos and I can't, you know, and these other people who are sitting back, oh, I want to start a YouTube channel, but I just can't come up with a good idea. I got to have everything perfect, because if I have everything perfect, then the stars will align and I will be successful, and then money will rain down and I will have followers and subscribers and everyone will listen and watch. And it's not like that. It's not gonna be like that. Mr. Beast, when he was talking in an interview and he saw all these different people commenting and they're like, well, I can't just get it done. And he's like, people reach out to me all the time, and my response, or his response, was real simple: is your first video, stop trying so hard. Your first video will get no views. No views. No views. And my first video really didn't get many views. My first video, actually, it got a decent amount of views, but only because all my friends watched it. All my buddies watched it. If it wasn't for all my buddies, I'd have got no views. And that's gonna be you too. So, you know, your first video is not gonna get no views. Your first 10 videos wouldn't get no views. All you have to do is each video do something a little better than the last video. Make sure that whatever you're working on, do something better. Do something better each time. Once you get to 100 videos, Mr. B said, hit me up when you hit to video 101. And I think that's brilliant. I think Mr. Beast is a really cool guy, and he's arguably the most successful YouTuber. He's just incredible, and he's got a great mind. I've seen lots of videos with my boys and stuff. They watch all his games and all these different things, and they're super cool. But for me, I see the good that he does for people, and I see the way his mind thinks when I've seen him in interviews. And the man is incredibly smart. He's incredibly humble, and he's a very kind person. He really is. He's just like, you know, I'm just having some fun and I'm helping people along the way. So anyways, I want you to take that, I'm not encouraging you to be a YouTuber. I'm saying whatever it is you do, just realize that the first time, it may not go exactly right. You know? If you ever watched an episode of Shark Tank, there's people on there, they get on there and they bring their new product, their new business, and they bring it to the sharks. You know, they bring it to Mr. Wonderful, Mark Cuban, they bring it to Lori, they bring all these different people, she's the queen of QVC, they bring the product to all these successful people, and they're like, hey, look, and they're like, well, what went wrong for your first year? Well, I've been trying at this for 4 years now. Okay, what went wrong the first year? And what changed in the second year? What happened in the third year? The government recognizes when you launch a business, it is acceptable to be in the red for 4 years. Absolutely acceptable. So that's what I'm telling you. So I'm not telling you to go into the red. I'm not telling you to leverage your house or your savings and, you know, just go broke and belly up and have all this debt. I'm just saying that it is acceptable to be in the red by the government. They recognize that launching a new business, that you go into the red. But if you've been in the red for over 5 years as a sole proprietor, as a corporation, it's completely different. But as a sole proprietor, as you know, launching a business from your house and, you know, a product, whatever, after the 5th year, they say that this is a very expensive hobby and no longer recognize it as a business if you've been in the red for 5 years. That, to me, speaks volumes to the normalization that companies struggle when they start. If you think it's going to be easy, it's not. But it's worth it. It's worth it to dive in. I've had countless people, it's been, you know, on entrepreneur forums and stuff for years, rather worked 80 hours for myself than 40 for someone else. If you're willing to work for yourself, you're going to have to put in that work. You're going to have to put in that time. You're going to have to put in your money, your effort, everything you've got. You've got to put it all in. So this is what, overall, the biggest concept I want y'all to take away from this whole thing is just dive in. That's where I started, and that's where I'm going to end. Just dive in. Whatever it is you want to do. I'm not encouraging you to sacrifice your family. You know, don't spend your kids' college fund. You know, don't over leverage your house. But stop waiting also. Whatever you've got to do, if you can say, hey, we can cut the Starbucks out of our budget so I can take this little piece each week. We can start buying, I don't know, generic Cokes, or stop buying Coke altogether. Give yourself a break from the sodas. It's healthier on your body, and sodas are expensive. You know, cut that out for a week, for a while, and take the little extra money you're spending on that every week. Hey, you know, just find little things you can start doing in your daily budget, or your weekly, daily, monthly, you know, budget, to take that little piece and invest in your future. What is it you're going to do? What is it you're going to do different? Let's make the change already. Really. Let's really, really, really make the change. Dive in. That's the most perfect phrase I can say, because I don't want you to put your toes in the water. I don't want you to reach down and touch the pool. I want you to do it back just like when you was a kid. When you was a kid, been waiting all summer, waiting to get to the pool. Saturday, mama takes you to the pool. You get out there. First thing you do, you barely drop your towel and your shoes, and you just go running off, and you just all in. Believe in yourself, believe in your concept, and believe in your family. Go all in. All right, it's your boy, CoreyB. I got love and respect for all of y'all. Man, I hope y'all are with me on this whole journey. Hope we stay together during this whole thing. It's gonna be incredible. I've had such an amazing journey so far, and I just got in my head that I want to transition into something a little different, and I want to take you along for the ride. So y'all stay tuned in, hit your boy up, leave your comments below, hit that like button, show your boy some love, hit that subscribe button, ding your bell, get your notifications. Till next time, it's your boy, and I'm out.